Well. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, all you Wednesday warriors, to another live stream. It's 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so you know what that means. That means that from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and we're live, baby. Go ahead and Spartan kick that like button for me. Just one time, please.
This is Sparta!
I would be greatly appreciative. I would definitely appreciate that. Spartan kick the like button, guys. And welcome in to abso-freaking-lutely everybody. It's been a week. What have I been up to? Released a video today on this guy. This is a beast. It's an EDC size beast, okay? I get it. I hear you guys loud and clear. You're like, it's only 7 inches. And then I have to ask the question of, since when was 7 inches not long enough to get the job done? Right. Let's not go there. 7 inches is plenty. It's plenty. But half the community looks at the Vosteed knife lineup and they say, but Rollshambo, I just want it to be bigger. I don't know. Like, for me, EDC size, what's really interesting to me is that it seems like people, they have their knives and they're like, you know what? I like this small knife, but not this small knife. This knife, same size. This one's great, but not this small knife. It's okay. Sometimes I feel like we find ways to justify our likes and our dislikes, and the truth can be as simple as, I just don't like it. But every time I make a Vosteed video, if that knife is not at least 7.5 inches long, I'm hearing about it. It's fun. Cool knife. This is the Vosteed Croc, released yesterday. Almost all sold out on Vosteed's website. Vosteed's website might be fully sold out. There are still some at White Mountain Knives, not this one. The last time I saw this one available was on Blade HQ. And this specific one has the Ocean micarta. So if you're hunting one of these, you can get one on Blade HQ. White Mountain Knives, I don't know if they got this one or if they got it and then it's sold out. Vosteed, this one sold out super fast. Anyways, new content is out now. Feel free to go watch it if you would like. Guys, welcome in to absolutely everybody. I'm stoked to get into it today. We're going to do some pocket checks. We're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to do some window shopping. Who knows? The theme today is diminishing returns, right? And I think about this because I feel like we, as EDC enthusiasts, right? Like, we, in our brains, we like to justify it. We like to justify things. We say, well, it's got this material and this material. That's why when we see an expensive knife with, albeit, kind of materials, you know what I'm talking about. Because we're like, well, I mean, we could get this and this would perform way better, at the same price point as this. But there comes a point where after that, everything else is just kind of like you can't get better than that, right? So, in your brain, I want you to think about this right now. What is the point of diminishing returns? Like, you look at a knife. For me, it's the Quiet Carry 9. I don't think knives, specifically production knives, I don't think they get better, as far as being a well-made knife. I don't think knives get better after the Quiet Carry 9. Production knives do not get better than the Quiet Carry 9. That is as good as it's going to get. You might have other knives that cost more after that point, but the action is perfection. Immaculate 3D contoured milling, titanium, Vanax super clean, full flat grind, impeccable blade geometry, the whole 9. See what I did there? But that's my point. Not saying that people shouldn't buy other knives or that you should only get that and then quit the EDC hop. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I think it's important and healthy for us to just realize, performance-wise and quality-wise, you reach a point of diminishing returns. And so I think it's hilarious, like when we're talking about, you know, super expensive knives, and we're like, well, I mean, this is an $800 knife. It's not worth it. At that point, it's like, well, who cares? What matters is not the justification. It's that you like it. It's the feeling that it brings you. You know, that feeling of satisfaction, of being fulfilled, that heartbeat of a moment when you see the mailman arrive at your mailbox and you wonder, is my package in his hands, or am I going to be filing an insurance claim? U.S. Postal Service, you never know these days. But that's the theme today. What was in my pocket today? I carried a knife, which... This is the Spyderco Swish Buoy. And of course, I put the Lynch Northwest modular pocket clip on there. The Fingerprint Collector 9000. Talk about a damn good knife. Like, if we're talking about like what knives are capable of, anything made in Taiwan these days is super good. Love this knife. Spyderco Swish Buoy. I'm glad I have one. I am so glad that I have one. Amazing piece. If you have one, you know what I'm talking about. That was in my pocket. What else? It's still in my pocket. Hold on. Peachy G9. Yeah, this guy's the MVP right here. This goes through tape. As you can see, this is often what I'm using to cut through tape. I hate cleaning tape off my knives. I will if I have to. It's not the end of the world. But you know what? Like, as far as EDC utility knives goes, this is made in Canada. Oh, Canada. I don't know why I spelled it. The Peachy G9 is an amazing EDC tool. So well done. Highly recommend. If you're looking for a good utility knife, and you don't, just have a Milwaukee fastback, it's a good option for the everyday Joe. Guys, what was in your pocket? Let me know in the chat, or if you're in the Discord, head on over there. Let me know in the Discord. We'll check on the pocket checks here in a bit. But first, we got to shout out some people. Welcome to Henry G. Welcome into Marco Vavelski. He says, hello, everybody. I'll be absent from the chat as I'm putting together IKEA furniture. Roll will be on the big screen as emotional support. We're here for you, buddy. We're here for you, buddy. You know what? Like, I don't know if your significant other is standing in the corner silently or unsilently judging you for how fast you're going. We won't judge you. You'll get it done in the proper amount of time. Just know that we're here for you. And, pop in and out of the chat if you can. Let us know how the build is going, because now I'm invested. I need to know, what are you building and how long is it taking? And do you use all the hardware? Because sometimes you end up with some extras, right? And you're like, oh, well, it's extra in case you lose a screw. And then, you look at the instructions that you pulled out of the trash and you realize they didn't actually send any extras. I hope this holds together. Maybe that's just me. You guys are probably much better at IKEA furniture than me. Anyways, welcome into Vavelski. Welcome into Wicked Dream Designs. Ian Coates says the greatest show on Wednesday nights.
This is Sparta!
Thanks, Ian. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday yourself. Welcome into Cat Scratch. Welcome into Paul Mills. Let's go. B Shady, TC Blades. Carlos, what's up, Carlos? Welcome in. Sorry, my applause button ended. I have to start it over again. Imball, welcome in. Welcome into David V. Roman M in the house. What's up, Rome? Welcome into Paul Mills, John Tagabori. Ian says, the only diminishing returns I know are Thursdays through Fridays. My desire to return to actual work is diminishing. You know what my least favorite day of the week is? Like, a lot of people think that, it defaults to Monday. No. Monday is fine. Monday, you still have the weekend glow, assuming that you didn't work over the weekend, right? So assuming a regular, Monday through Friday work life, my least favorite day of the week is Tuesday. Hear me out. Tuesday I don't know why I'm holding up two fingers. Tuesday is my least favorite day of the week. Monday, yes, it's the start of the week, but you still got all of that energy, even the tiny little bit you built up over the weekend. You have the weekend glow. That's what I'm going to call it. Don't question it. Just go with it. You have the weekend glow. Tuesday rolls around. The glow is gone. Everything at work is broken. Nobody has a good attitude. Friday is so far away, and you're not even halfway through the week. Tuesday is the ever-present reminder that we essentially work for a living. Tuesday sucks. Wednesday is great. You're halfway through. You gain that second win. You're like, today, I've got it today. Thursday rolls around, you're like, Friday Eve, baby. Friday comes, and it's Friday. It's Friday. The hope is there. You can make it one more day. And then the weekend comes, and all of your plans for fruition, all the things that you wanted to do, we don't do them. But Tuesday is also known as purgatory. I hate Tuesdays. I call Tuesdays Kirkland brand Monday. Regardless, I agree, Ian. I don't know what that tangent that I just went off on was, but now you know. Anyways, David V says he carried the Ultim Vision FG, then switched it up to an Ultim Livewire after work. Nice. That's a solid carry. Super solid carry. I love the Livewire. As far as American-made out-the-front knives go, the Livewire is probably up there as far as value, best value. I know there's a lot of companies that will be like, yeah, made in America, but what they really mean was assembled in America. Baron Sons. Boker. Assembled in America does not mean made in America when we talk about knives, but a lot of companies will take advantage of that because we have import-export laws where we don't allow fully assembled OTFs into the country. It's funny, we can block those, but these clones, we'll let these clones in. Doesn't make any sense to me. We allow clones in across our borders, but we won't allow OTFs across our borders. Like, they have to send us buckets of parts, and then they have to be assembled by some poor schmuck here stateside, probably not getting paid very much to do that, only so that they can go on and be like, it's made in America. Baloney. It's not made in America just because it's assembled here. Don't send me a bucket of parts on an American flag. I'm going off on a lot of tangents tonight. The whole point was, as far as American-made OTFs are concerned, the Livewire is easily one of the best values, if not the best value. What's up, Craig Vincent? Welcome into Ed B. Ian says, my sleep paralysis demon is standing in the corner judging me for drinking and staring at my computer. I live alone before you say girlfriend or parental unit. You don't live. You've got your sleep paralysis demon, right? You're never alone inside your head, but you're only crazy if you answer. I got that mixed up. You're not crazy if you talk to yourself. You're only crazy if you answer. You got us, Ian. You got us. You're not alone, buddy. Welcome into Top Dog. Top Dog in the house. Wow, my chat jumped, so we're going to be jumping around with it. Ed B says, Roll would be really appreciative if you'd snuggle his button. The like button. Specifically the like button. The like button. Oh, man. Welcome to Top Dog. I know I already said hi. We'll say hi again. I'm scrolling up now. My chat jumped. Imbal, well, what's up, man? He says, I actually just got a new one from Concept. The Kasami came with terrible lock stick, but she's running really good after a good polishing, super snappy knife. I'm not familiar with that one. I might have to look that up. What's up, Brown Sugar? What's up? Let's go. Imbal says, the day before you have to go back to work. Is that the worst day of the week? The day before? No, because you're still not at work, right? I guess unless you love some people genuinely love what they do. That's different. I don't consider that work. That's like paid free time, right? Like if you choose to do it, whether you got paid or not, getting paid is just, Sassy and the Beast, what's up? Good to see you. Welcome in. Ian says, I like that Roll tries to have topics for his lives, then those topics get thrown out the window. I never know what direction these live streams are going to take. I do like putting something relevant at the beginning because a lot of times the replay team, the replay squad, the people that watch after the fact, they'll look at a live stream and be like, should I watch it? At least they know that I'm going to talk about whatever the topic of the video title was for at least some amount of time. But yeah, no, diminishing returns. There is a lot of diminishing returns in the knife and EDC hobby. And I think it's hilarious because after a certain point, like when people tell me, well, this knife is better than this knife. It's like, is it though? Is it though? I mean, like we get to a certain point and then everything after that is just kind of like, well, I mean, you know, not talking about values, just talking about like, is it really better? Like, does it get better than a quiet carry 9? That's just my opinion. I don't think that it really does. Anyways, did I say hi to John? What's up, John? David says you only have to follow the rules if you want to. These companies could theoretically have their knives assembled in China if they were willing to risk it. I mean, these days with the way, you know, import export is going, I don't think anyone wants to risk, you know, further sanctions or issues at the loading dock or whatever. Carlos says, damn it, you ruined Tuesdays for me now. You're welcome. What's up, Big Jim? Welcome in. Inball says, whatever day I hear I'm getting walked by corporate is my worst day. Yeah, I mean, that kind of sucks because, you know, you might never know. You might go into like a Thursday being like, yeah, it's Thursday. And then you're like, oh, no, never mind. Corporate's here. Screw it. Screw it. Ed B says Roll is starting to sound like MC. I don't know what that means, Ed. You have to be give me some context here. I actually haven't watched any Metal Complex content in quite a while, which is funny because I used to watch it all the time. Like before I had the channel, I watched Metal Complex daily. You know, and a slew of other channels. Now, like, I have my own channel and I barely watch other channels. In fact, I'm trying to change that because, you know, being a part of the community, it really is good seeing everybody else's take on things. And, you know, sometimes like a knife will release of like something really cool that I would love to show on the channel. And I miss it completely because I'm not paying attention. Pay attention. Top Dog says everybody sound like MC. I don't know about that. I think that one of the reasons why Metal Complex is so successful at what he does is because he has a voice like I'm not talking about the tone of his voice or what his voice sounds like, but his commentary is very unique to him. I don't know if anyone sounds like Metal Complex as far as the way that they talk. It's one of the things that makes his channel successful, and I wish people would understand that. Like everyone else is so busy trying to copy his, you know, his way of doing things that they forget the most important part is the person behind the camera, not the camera itself or the knife that's being shown or whatever background is there or any extra thing. It's the commentary is easily the most important thing. Welcome into Days D says remote Monday, Wednesday, come in on Thursday and Friday remote again. You got one of those hybrid jobs. My day job used to be hybrid. Then I moved to a different state. Like, are you coming in on Wednesday? No. I'm not driving 1,000 miles. You got to be out your mind. Ian says MC is good because it doesn't kiss the shill ring. There's a shill ring? Nobody told me. What's up, Precision Knife Works? Welcome in. Precision Knife Works got some cool things going on behind the scenes, working on an American-made folder, custom chef's knives, custom fixed blades. Guys, check out Precision Knife Works on Instagram. The designer of one of my favorite knives, the Warntack. The Warntack is an amazing knife. And now there should be an American-made version coming soonish. Follow Precision Knife Works on Instagram. You'll see what I mean. Just do it. Ian says, I wrote a gorgeous comment with alliteration and Roll won't read it about Fantastic Four. I'll scroll up for you. Hold on. Ian says, you have to treat us like cats and dogs and just jiggle the knife on the camera every few seconds. just give it a little jiggle. Jiggle and wiggle. Just give... This is what I carried today. Other knives that are on my desk. You know, I don't do the over the head live streams. They just don't seem as personable to me. Other cool knives on my desk. Boom. Check this guy out. I still need to make content for this. This is the SPK Lamia with the nature grip. And then of course I've got the Cortex XL. Yeah, those are both bangers. And then because, you know, oh, that wasn't good. You heard nothing. You heard nothing. That was not the sound of knives dropping on knives. Boom. Version 1 tall boy. Another knife that's on my desk. I've got a host of, oh my God. I've got way too many sharp and shiny things on my desk. Here's a cool one that a lot of people can afford. The QSP Vault. I was marveling at this earlier today while I should have been working. I was thinking, you know what? Like QSP really did nail it, right? And I think that we all take for granted just how good QSP is at making knives. Like this is a knife that's under $100. The feeling of actuating the lock is incredibly smooth. Copper foil handles on G10, and the G10, listen, I thought this G10 was actually aluminum or steel that had been like anodized. No. It's G10. But that's just how good they are at milling and finishing the G10. It's crazy. Obviously designed not by QSP, but in collaboration with them. Fantastic knife. I was just marveling at this today. Like, good knives don't have to cost hundreds of dollars. Sometimes they cost under $100. Anyways, I've got a few others on the desk that I can't show you because content is pending. Here's another good one. Check this out. This is my Rips Garage Tech 15V Para 3. Love the Para 3. Look at that. Contoured scales. People don't understand. The contouring is there. Focus. The contouring is there. Under $200 for a scale and matching clip combo from Rips Garage Tech. If anyone's got an in with Rips Garage Tech, tell them it's time to sponsor me already. Would you? I'm searching for a comment, but my ADHD is going nuts. All right, we found it. Ian says, I'm looking forward to Friday, for I foresee Fantastic Four in front of my fabulous and fantastic face. Nice. I found it, Ian. I found it. Henry G says, ramble shamble. Yeah, I'm doing a bit of rambling today for sure. Matt D, welcome in, man. Thanks for being a channel member. He says, about to eat dinner, but wanted to stop in and say hello. Hope you have a great dinner. What's for dinner? I barbecued up some pork chops. An amazing seasoning to put on pork chops is Fireball. Yes, kind of like the alcoholic drink, but it's a seasoning. You get it at the store. Like any Kroger brand store should have it. Fantastic on pork. And it's so good. So good when you nail the temperature, right? Like when you grill it and you get a perfect sear on both sides and you pulled it right when it gets to that perfect temperature where it's still juicy but fully cooked through. And then the juices spill out with the... All right, I'm making myself hungry again. That's no good. Anyways, what's for dinner? It's a good question. Inball says, people on all forums out there seem to hate on MC. Seems like a good dude to me, though. Yeah, you know what? He is a good dude. I think people hate on him because he's well known. Like... It doesn't matter what sector of the world you go into. Like, for example, LeBron James, easily the most identifiable basketball player currently playing in the league, and he's got tons of haters. He's the most, he's what, the leading scorer, the highest leading scorer in NBA history, so on and so forth. But my point is that if you ever end up getting good and well known at something, you will attract haters. That's kind of a good way to gauge your success, right? If you are successful at something, you will gain critics and criticism. And you put yourself out there enough and you open yourself up to that criticism. So it's just a gauge of really how well known he is, especially in the knife space. Like the knife and EDC community online is not as big as a lot of other communities. We're really not. Like, we've got plenty of people, but we're really not. So that means that when people are talking about it, right, there's only so many, I hate to say household names, but it's true. There's only so many household names in the EDC community. And he's one of the most recognizable, not only because he's been doing it for so long, but because he has amassed such a large following. And, wherever there's fans, there's also super fans, which I also call haters. Yeah. Anyways, he does seem like a good dude. But anytime you put yourself out there on social media or on YouTube, you welcome the haters. It's going to happen. Ed B says, Roll makes all his money from YouTube by shilling. Oh, yeah. No, I have a day job and a second job. And then I have the channel. And the channel makes a little bit of money. It's not enough to go full-time. I've had some people ask me if I would go full-time. And the answer to that question is, if it was something that I could do and not worry about the health and safety and well-being of my family, then yeah, I would do it. But it would have to be enough to replace my regular job and possibly also my secondary job. It's not going to happen. It's really not going to happen. David V says, it's funny the MC has the biggest channel and literally shoots on his phone in a closet with Temu lights in the same desk mat for years. Oh, man. I'm telling you, it's not the equipment, it's the commentary. He has elite level commentary, and whether anyone out there is a fan of his or a hater of his, you don't grow something that big without having a skill somewhere, something that stands out positively. Ian says, ask Ray, he's got a big shill ring. I don't know, man. John says, no one has that radio DJ voice like Rollshambo. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I wish that I could get my commentary up to an elite level. Like, that's one of those things where I think about it. I'm like, you know what? I could improve my video quality. I could improve my audio quality. I could improve my lighting. I could change the style of content that I do. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is the commentary. Voiceless channels in the knife sector do not go far. It's true. Ed B says, the hate for MC is jealousy. People have their reasons. They definitely have their reasons. Are they valid reasons? No idea. Carlos says, what do you do for work, Roll? So, as a matter of security and privacy, I'm not going to say the name of my company, but I work in the tech financial sector. You could say that I work for a company that brokers financing. And in that world, I run a team of about 16 people, and I try not to hate life at the end of my day. Which is why I come to talk to you fine people. So yeah, that's what I do for work. In the past, I've done work like I did wildland firefighting right out of high school. Did that for a couple of years during the summertime going to college. I worked at a radio station from the time that I was 15, 16 years old in high school up through college. So I actually do have radio experience. It's not as glamorous as you might think. It is fun. It does not pay very well at all. It was a side job. I've done a lot of stuff. Anyways, I'm probably just putting too much information out there. Precision Knife Work says, what's everyone's thoughts on XHP? Planning on doing some runs with it on worn tacks and future runs. It can easily achieve 63 to 64 Rockwell. I think it's cool, man. XHP is one of those steels that was really hot for a while, and then it got shouted over by steels like M390. But XHP is a cool steel. It performs really well, good edge retention. If I'm remembering correctly, it's not the most corrosion resistant. I don't think it's stainless. Isn't it considered a tool steel? I could be wrong. Might have to look it up. Regardless, CTS XHP is a great steel. It's not one that we see very often. So I think it'd be cool to have it on a knife. I'm personally not worried about corrosion resistance on knives just because I live in a dry area. Humidity here was like 31% today. I'm not worried about corrosion resistance. I think it'd be cool, man. Other steels that I think are cool are like ZDP 189. SLD Magic is a really cool steel. Like the steels from Hitachi in Japan are really cool. I like them. CTS 204P would be cool to see on more knives, even though I get it. Like it's composition wise, it's basically M390. Carpenter steel is cool though. CTS XHP, CTS 204P, both made by Carpenter. Ian says, I think of that Markiplier soundbite when he's explaining something that goes jiggle jiggle every few seconds. I don't know if I know what that is by name. Am I living under a rock? Quite possibly. Ed B says, if MC looked like Melissa, he'd be the biggest. We're not going to go there. I'd probably end up getting canceled. TC Blade says, Melissa Backwoods, 1.4 million subs. Guys, here's what you have to understand. A lot of people on the outside don't understand this, but it's not about sub count. It's not about sub count at all. In fact, I'm not going to name names, but you could go throughout the community and find channels that have like 20, 30, 40,000 subscribers, and then, they struggle to get 100 views on their videos. Sub count is not everything. It's not everything. When I talk about a big channel, I'm talking about like visibility, right? Like how often do people watch their content? How seriously are their opinions taken? How noticeable are they? Like sub count is a factor, sure. But you'd be surprised. Like even you look at the biggest channels, like Melissa Backwoods she might have 1.4 million subs, but she's not getting 1.4 million views on every single video. Like when you look at the actual percentage of like how much of their audience, their subscribership is actually watching the content, right? It's one of those things that I find really interesting is that people make the mistake of thinking that audience size or channel size is based on the subscribership. No. I can't tell you how many YouTube channels I'm subscribed to that I haven't watched in years. Not because I didn't want to or because I lost interest. The YouTube algorithm just said no. But we need to stop considering like channel size to be based on subscribership. It's an indicator. It's far from the full story. John Tagamori says PKW already own one of the early worn tax rate. That's a fantastic knife, man. Ian says, ooh, and my ADD is now tickled for a few seconds. Dale says, if Melissa looked like MC, she wouldn't have a chance. We're not going there. You guys are going to get me canceled. Top Dog says Spyderco rocks after you replace the scales and the pocket clip. I mean, they look, if we're talking about like how good it is as a knife, like Spyderco's rock as a knife stock. I mean, shoot, they have an amazing cutting geometry right out of the box. Usually the tolerances are perfect. Usually the lockup is perfect and the ergonomics are perfect. It's just weirdos like me that say, hey, I you know what, I want titanium contoured scales. But you can buy a Spyderco swish buoy that comes with titanium contoured scales. I mean, Spyderco makes a hell of a knife. One of the things that makes Spyderco stand out in my book is that they have a dedication to understanding what makes a heat treat good. That's why a Spyderco in MagnaCut at 62 Rockwell is still one of the highest performing steels on cut test channels like Cedric and Ada. You know, like they don't have the hardest MagnaCut known to mankind, but when you look at their cut test data, they sure as hell have a good performing knife there. You know, Spyderco heat treats their MagnaCut at 62 Rockwell. That's what they target. Every single time they've been heat treat tested, indenter style tested, that's generally what they come out at, it is 62 Rockwell. But they perform really freaking well. And it's because they look at everything. Like Spyderco tests the heat treat. Like they've worked with Sean Houston of, you know, Big Brown Bear on the 15V heat treat and adopted his. Why? Because it works better. You don't hear about that stuff with benchmade. Like benchmade is like, oh, look, a crossbar lock, we'll buy it. And we'll make a million knives with it. And then sue people. Spyderco's pretty litigious too, let's be honest. But like, what makes Spyderco a great brand is their dedication to the craft. And the more you look into it, the more I've looked into it, the more impressed I am. Am I a fanboy? Absolutely. Am I biased? Probably. I mean, shoot, I've got a lot of Spydercos. I've spent a lot of money modifying them to personalize them to my preference, but it's nice having something that maybe not everybody else has. I like personalizing my stuff. Sassy and the Beast says, yeah, best voice roll, just missing the kazoo. Shout out to Rob's Nerdy Knives. I don't think he watches the live stream anymore. Shout out to Rob's Nerdy Knives. What's up, Cornered? He says, my fantasticals. What's up, man? Let's go. Top Dog says, who hates on Metal Complex? He is a goat. Just don't go to Reddit. If you go to Reddit, there are whole Reddit threads dedicated to hating on knife YouTubers in general, but they usually pinpoint out the most recognizable ones like Neves Knives and Metal Complex. And I even had someone mention in my comments section once, like I did a regular review. I gave my honest opinion, and the person's comment was like, you know, it's people like you and bestech EDC that are what's wrong with this community. And like, and all I could respond with was, I made it into the cut with bestech EDC and Metal. I'll take it. Thank you. I'll take that award. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. All right, guys. My chat jumped. I was far behind. It's okay. Wicked Dreams says, one day Shambo will say hi to me. Sad my life. I said hi. I said hi when we got live. You were one of the first people I said hi to. But it is good to see you, man. I hope everything's going well with you. Ghost Keeper, what's up? He says, got the Remet Two-Face on the way. Just too unique and not to add to the collection. Just too unique not to add to the collection. The Two-Face is a fantastic piece. It's an Osho design, and I love it. I've already reviewed it already. I think you may have seen it. Some people saw it, some people haven't. It's cool. The dual grind on there is cool. And something that I thought was funny that nobody mentioned in their comments on that video at all was like, with the stock factory edge, I was able to cut a paper towel pretty cleanly. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I just showed it as like an overhead clip of just through a paper towel. It's not just sharp, it's got good cutting geometry. It feels really good in the hand too. I love the full body length backspacer on that one. The Two-Face is fantastic. All right, I need to stay hydrated. All right. Precision Knife Work says, what about S30 or S90 at 63 to 64? Just saying my options. Don't do S30V, please. Don't do S30V. I am not a fan of S30V. S90V, however, if you can get S90V to 63 or 64, that'd be crazy. S90V at 50, I'll put it to you like this: S90V at 59 Rockwell might not sound impressive, but it still performs really well. If you can get S90V cryo treated to between anywhere from 60 to 62 is perfect. After 62, it becomes really, really, really hard to machine. It will absolutely blow through belts. Just ask the guys over at Machine Wise. They started doing a limited batch of S90V folders that were coming in at like 62 to 63. And they were reporting that they were blowing through consumable materials like nobody's business, which is, I'm guessing, why we don't see a whole lot of S90V, higher than 62. But S90V is fantastic. I love it. 60 to 62 is perfectly fine. You can get it at 63. If you can get anybody to machine those, at 63 Rockwell, that would be impressive, because that is very expensive with all of those consumables. Ed B says S90 is the GOAT. It's one of my favorite steels. I would say it's easily a top 3 favorite steel. What's up, Subarashi? Knife Sharp India says, but other than edge retention, 14C is pretty perfect in all other aspects. As far as edge retention is not the end all be all. When you think about 14C is great on thin blade geometry knives like chef's knives. Chef's knives and 14C are perfect, because what you lack in the steel composition, you make up for in blade and edge geometry. It's a super tough steel that's highly corrosion resistant, so it's going to maintain better stability at lower edge angles, which I love. And it's also going to be easier to sharpen, so it makes sense on things like fixed blades and kitchen knives that you're probably going to end up having to sharpen more often anyways, just by virtue of the cutting tasks that you put them through. But love 14C. It's a fantastic steel. Sorry, I gotta pop my ears. Oh, come on. That's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. Gentleman of Honor, what's up? Sean McLaughlin, he says, hey, Roll, does anyone know when the budget tri-stash is dropping? Blade Binge is not giving the deets. Cole hasn't told me. I could ask him, though. I could probably find out for you. Or maybe somebody in here might know. I haven't been keeping up with it, to be honest. Precision says, you machine it soft and then heat treat it after. You can achieve hardness that way. Yeah. But for example, when you go to put an edge on it, for like when you put the secondary bevel on it, right, you're still going to be going through belts. It's still going to take a lot to do any kind of machining after it's hardened. So anything that you need to do on S90V after it's been hardened, whether that's surface finishing or whatever. Like, I'm not a knife maker, but I know that there is reasons why you still have to you still go through a lot of consumables with steels like S90V after they've been hardened. Because it's more than just, you harden the knife and then you're done. At the very least, the edge bevel is put on last. Hey, welcome into Fred. What's up, Fred? Paul Mills says, nice, makes me want a Mojave. Do they have any available? Let's go ahead and find out. It's just been me talking my head off the entire live stream. Nobody stopped me. All right, hold on. Boom, let's find out. Do they have any Mojaves? They do. And it's available. Look at that. S90V 63 Rockwell stonewash finished blade. Smooth handle scale texture. That's probably why it's still available. A lot of people want the milling. I know that I do. I want milling. Although this would be a good option for somebody that wants to take a knife and truly customize it after the fact. Like maybe send it to a knife modder to do some custom milling. That could be cool. Or maybe you're just somebody that's like, you know what? This is going to be a hardcore carry knife. I'm not going to worry about. I'm going to let the stonewash of life leave its mark on these scales. But S90V at 63 Rockwell. Each one of these knives is individually Rockwell tested. On mine, I checked it out. I took the knife fully apart. And I was like, I'm going to find these, you know, the where they did the HRC test. It's right next to the pivot. It's not in the spot where the bearings are. It's just outside of it. You'll never actually see it, but it's really cool to me that when you look at the COA, it's not just a general Rockwell target. No, that is that knife's specific Rockwell target. Like that is what they hit on that knife specifically. And I think that that's really cool. The stonewash, I'll be honest, I'm kind of considering reaching out to the guys at Machine Wise and being like, hey, can you give my knife a stonewash blade? I have the light wash, and the light wash is good for someone like me who carries their knives and uses them, right? Because the light wash is going to show the least amount of wear over time. But damn it, that stonewash looks excellent. It looks like it looks close to a mirror. It's like a stonewash mirror. Look at that. I love what they did there with that fuller. My fuller doesn't look like that. It's such a good knife. Such a good knife. I don't know if is anything going to be released this year that tops that. Who's topping that? I don't know. But the good news is that there is one available. It's number 394. So if you want one, go get it. Let's go ahead and get into some pocket checks. Hey, transparent knives in the house. Brian, what's up, dude? Good to see you. He says, I have different points of diminishing returns for different categories of knives, but the main ones for me at the moment are $900 small batch US CNC and $1,600. You know, like for me, I just talk about production knives because that's what I know the most about. I'm finally starting to get into small batch makers, you know, like these guys, like the Lamia and the Cortex XL. And I gotta say, like the small batch CNC knives, they feel different than regular production knives in a way that only a small batch knife can. And until you really get into it, it can be hard to understand. You have to go down that rabbit hole. But I see what you're talking about, man. 100%. Good to see you, Brian. Welcome into Dolomite. Ed B says, someone who makes a contoured scale. Ed, I disagree. I don't think it has anything to do with whether or not the scales are contoured or not. What makes the Mojave impressive is the overall level of fit and finish and how they put everything together. The tolerances are incredible. The action is incredible. I keep looking for knives to compare, and every time I find something, I'm like, you know what? Maybe this one. Nope. Dolomite says, that picture of that Mojave is an outlier on how it looks, so mirror-ish. Most of them don't. I don't know. I've seen, you know what? All right, let's do this. We're going to go to, let's see if we can find a YouTube short. We're going to find a YouTube short of the Machine Wise Mojave with the stonewash, because I have seen plenty of their stonewash that do look like that. YouTube short. Okay, here's one. Nope. How do I? Okay, here we go. All right. Let's see. Can we get a good stonewash finish on this? Ooh. That one's cool. The green ano. Solid. I like it. They really should have done the stepped milling on the pocket clip on that one. Just putting that out there. They really should have. Yeah, I mean, it's not a mirror finish, but it is a high polished stonewash is what I'm trying to get to. I digress. We're going to get into some pocket checks, guys. This is the Only Spartans Discord. How do you get here? Become a channel member. Channel membership start at 99 cents. It's as cheap as YouTube will let me make it. I mean, to go any lower, I might as well just make it free. Right? But my Discord mods have told me that is a bad idea. But guys, with a barrier of entry at 99 cents, if you want to be a part of the Discord, just become a channel member. I don't know what else to say. Channel members and Spartans, they amass here, and we do pocket checks daily. We have really cool forums like the Knife Drops and Deals. We have the Knife Yard Sale, which, you know, the community's work in progress. But if you want to know how to get your pocket check featured on the live stream, post it here. And we're going to start off with today's. Let's see, where is the earliest one today? You know what? We'll start off with Big Jim's just because that's cool. Like, this one wasn't from today, but we'll do it anyways because that's freaking cool. Look at that. The puzzle piece Anno on the Lamia. Jim. Is that custom or did Alex Steingraber do that for you? Like, is that one that he came out with, or did you have that done custom? That's crazy cool. So, truly starting today, we've got Nick T. He's got the Riot Tashi Baruka Baby Machine and the High Grain Designs DeVille with the Lottie clicker. Look at that. Got some Starbies going on. I'm here for it. I'm a caffeine addict. Vavelsky, he's got the Devo Binge, the Devo Tallboy. I see a Lynch Northwest. Is that an all access pass? Which pocket clip, or excuse me, which pry bar is that? And then the Olight Arkfeld Ultra. Solid carry, man. Yeah, I like that. Double D, he's got a quiet carry large drift, or a drift large. I've been hearing some whispers of people saying that they like the large drift over the drift LCT. Is that true? So, I've heard that the blade stock is a little bit thinner. I don't know if I can get behind that. Granted, I haven't tried either of them, so I should probably just keep my mouth shut. Love that shot though. Look at that. Where are you? Oh, that makes sense. In the Costa Rican rainforest. I was going to say, I can't even look at the knife because everything else back there is gorgeous. Look at that shot. Crystal blue waters in the background with the waterfall and all that greenery. Love it, man. Talk about an awesome shot. Days D, he says, for those who come after. Is that some custom work? I think that is. I'm not sure which Kubi knife that is. That's beautiful engraving. I like that. I like that a lot. Matt's got the Nature Grip Lamia with his trusty Zippo, a Gen 4 custom. Yeah, nice. So he's got the Gen 4 Lamia, the Q3D Disco custom anodized pen. Nice. And the bandana from Sendero. Wow, I'm having a hard time talking. All right. Craig Vincent. Let's take a look at this shot real quick. That's so good. With the green anno specific. I like that. Green anno on the pivot. Green anno on the pocket clip engraving. That's nice. And then on the pen. Super cool. Super cool. Craig Vincent, he's got the Cold Steel Voyager, the 8010. He's got the Cold Steel Engage. A lot of Cold Steel. He's got the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, and I always forget this one. It is the Spectre. What is that called? What is that called? This one right here. Is that the Spectre? I'm not sure. Thanks for sharing, Craig. We got Big Jim. He's got a good one, man. This is the Concept Loki. I almost blanked on it. And you know the embarrassing thing is that I currently own one of these and I'm blanking on it. I own one. It's over there in the drawer. I'm going to get eaten alive by the chat. I'm just going to move on. Thanks for sharing, Jim. The Bonds, he's got the Baby Banter and the Arkfeld Pro. Very nice. Ian with, is that a small Sebenza 31? Is that a small Sebenza 31? Why do I feel like that's a small Sebenza 31? That's not a large Sebenza, right? Or is it? I didn't know that. I'm probably wrong. It's probably a large Sebenza. I know they're essentially the same knife, just different sizes. That's why without aspect ratio, I have no idea if that's a small or a large. It's a Sebenza 31. For sure. 747, he's got a couple big brown bear 15V Spydercos. One's the Manix 2 lightweight with the Lynch Northwest clip. They both have Lynch Northwest clips. Very nice. And then the other one, excuse me, the other one is the Para 3 G10 version. I like it, man. Get that 15V while you can, because once it's gone, it's gone. Jim's got the Wee Ziphius. That's the one. That's the one I spaced it out a couple weeks ago. I'm like, why can't I remember what this is? The Wee Ziphius. He's got the Rosecraft Clinch River Swayback Nebraska Brigade J-Cal Warncliffe. Look at that. Solid. Super solid, man. Love it. Very nice. Thanks for sharing, Jim. Ed, look at that shot. Ed, I have to ask, did you actually take that photo, or is that cupcake AI? That cupcake is almost too perfect, sir. It's almost too perfect. That looks like a product shot. I love it. I freaking love it. That's awesome. TC Blades. Ooh, he's got a Concept Loki. I forget which Concept that one is. Cortex XL with the really nice, actually. I like that. The Tesseract. Isn't that what that's called? The Tesseract. Is that Tesseract milling? Is that what they call that pattern? I don't know. He's got a, that's not a Style 51 Arius in the background, is it? Is that a Style 55? Is that a special edition Koenig Arius? Are you holding out on me, TC? TC. That's not a standard Koenig Arius. That's either a clone or a Style 55, right? Right? Right. All right. That's going to bug me. I hope he's still in here. He needs to tell me right now which Arius that is in the background. Come to find out, it's not an Arius at all. I swear it is. We're going to go ahead and say hi to some people in the chat. Hold on a second. Paul Mills says, I need a quiet carry in my life. Dude, we can help you with this, Paul. The good news is that you cannot go wrong. You should either get a quiet carry 9 or a quiet carry drift. Which drift? I don't know. Would you rather pay more but get contoured scales and a milled pocket clip, or pay less and get a slightly thinner blade stock and a wire clip? But people tell me the drift large is the way to go. Mick Ranger, what's up, man? He says, I need to step up my picks on these pocket checks. You cats crush it on these picks. I stopped doing it because my pictures look like dog water. My pictures, like, I'm the one with the channel. I'm capable of taking good pictures, and here I am, with my cell phone, like, oh man. No, the pocket check, the live stream pocket check is something else. These guys do a great job. Cat Scratch, he's got the JK Design Orca V1 with complete set or Dragon Cut Orca roll pouches. What? Oh, that's cool. We don't get too many Balisongs in here, but that's really cool. I like that. Very nice. Eagle Scout. What's up, Eagle Scout? He's got the Spyderco Manix 2 lightweight in Spy 27 and the QSP Penguin in S90V. Solid carry right there. That's a carry you could truly put through hell. Drinkwater's got, man, he's making me, Drinkwater, why do you do this to me? You're making me jealous. You're making me jealous. He's got what I want. It's on my list. I need to get one. He's got the Hinderer full track warning. The full track warning is what I want. They've released a couple times, and each time they sell out like that. And then, of course, Spyderco McBee. Very nice. If you would decide that you want to get rid of yours, come find me. You know where to find me. Dale Lane, he's got a Spidey Chef. And which one is this? Is that a Techno? Is this like a Techno 1? Which... I have a feeling that it's also a Marcin Swish design. I'm not familiar with that. And I'm kind of embarrassed that I don't know what that one is. JT, he's got... All right. So, from left to right, he's got a Prince Customs Protean. He's got a Utzler Neutralizer. He's got a Cortex XL. And then which Riot is this? Is that like the T5100 or is that the Riot Tiger? Not sure on this one. Got the other three though. Yeah, we're just gonna... Yeah, that's cool. Super cool. I'm jealous. I want to get... These two right here are high on my list. I don't know if I'll ever have a chance to get a brand new neutralizer. I might have to get one of these on the secondary. I saw one on Blade Binge. I wonder if it's still there. Jim Cox has the Chavez Chubb, the Ramet Canyon, and the McNeese 2 3.5. Nice. I like that, man. You got a little bit of everything. Look at that. Got some American made. Got some overseas made. You got a utility knife. I dig it. Fred's got a nice set. He's got a Sparrow Production Strix lasered by Laser Perfect Customs, Zach Perlo, El Deuterino, the Nathaniel Perry Seraph, and the Neves Knives Misdemeanor. Look at that. That's nice. I really like that lasering right there. That's really cool. Yep. Of course, the Misdemeanor. Solid carry, Fred. Thanks for sharing. Sassy and the Beast says 2 browns make a blurple. 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 2 lefts do. And apparently two browns make a blurple. I like it. That's awesome. It's a nice shot too. Mick Ranger, he's got a Spyderco Shaman with the rock scale titanium critter scales. Solid choice, my man. Which blade steel is that? I can't see. Which blade steel? Ooh. Got some custom backspacer going on too. I like it. I just realized I haven't carried my Shaman in a long time. I need to change that. Kevin Smith, he's got the Devo Stout. He's got a benchmade bug out and some extra bug out scales for the bug out Timascus scales, no less. Very nice. And then, of course, the Rivalry Zero. That's a cool utility knife, too. I'm going to have to get one of those to check out. It's a really cool design. Blind Woo Fury, he's got the Kubi Blackout. He's got a Glock. The Benchmade Adamas. And I'm not sure what this is up here, this fixed blade. But that carry means business. It means business. You know what? I'm okay. Like if people want to show off their full carry and you got some pew-pews on you, go for it. I'm A-okay with that. All right, guys, those are the live stream pocket checks. Absolutely. Thank you for everyone who shared their pocket check. And now I'm going to get back to the chat, which I have left for far too long. Kevin Smith says Flightanium modular scales and got that insert. Ooh, okay. Is that what those Timascus ones are? Flightanium modular scales with a Timascus insert. Okay. You know, I was about to say, how dare you do that to an American-made knife? I was like, it's a benchmade. That's fine. You definitely improved that benchmade. Silo. I knew the comments were going to eat me up. I knew it. I own one. I have one. It's right over there. It's right over there, guys. Brain no worky at the end of the day. Ed B says, Roll, you need to show Vavelski's pic in the hangout and chat. All right. Where is it? All right. Oh, that's cool. Hey, look, it's me. It's me. But I'm curious, what piece of IKEA furniture are we putting together? I need to know. I have to know. What's the IKEA furniture? That is a badass room, though. Look at that. Whoa. All those screens. I only have 2 screens set up. I thought I had a lot. Knife case. I'm a little bit jealous. He's got the man cave that I want. Vavelski, I'm coming over to your house. Game day, your house, buddy. I'll bring the beers. Something. That's cool. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Good shout out, Ed. Oh man. Anyways, let's see what's new out there. For those who wanted to get in on the Knoll Knives Raiden drop on DLT, those are live. Check that out. The Raiden R2. Yeah, you can get them. You can get them. Boom. Look at that. 325. They're in Magna Cut. You can get them with blurple accents. This is tempting. This is really tempting to me. Really very tempting. The Knoll Knives Raiden R2. I know people are like, oh, get the whatever the new one was called. What was the new Knoll Knives called? It's like the Knoll Knives. The Vandal. I kept wanting to say Valhalla, but that's a different brand. The Vandal. Everyone went nuts over the Vandal. For me, it just wasn't my thing. I would much rather have a Raiden, personally. I think that is a much better looking design. Just personal opinion, it's cleaner. I can't help myself. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, but the Raiden is a better looking knife than the Vandal. But these are available now. These are 100% available on DLT. What else is new? Ooh, the Koenig Mini Arius is dropping on DLT. And that's going to be coming when? Tomorrow? I think it said like 11 hours. It's close. They have a new pattern, and I've been looking at these. Have you guys seen the new pattern? This is the Plexa pattern. Look at that. The Plexa pattern. It's kind of like reading Braille on a handle scale. I'm here for it. I like it. I don't know if I like it as much as I like the original pattern, like the original stylized pattern milling. I'm not sure. Undecided. But the Mini Arius, they did these in M390. Of course, they've got some goblins that are already available. That's cool. None with the flipper delete. Kind of shocked that I don't see any with the flipper delete. And they're all 805 except for this one, which is 770. All right, guys. Why is it that you pay an extra $35 just for blue hardware? Is it really $35 extra just to get the hardware in blue? Like, that's the only difference between the one with the blue hardware and the silver hardware. I do not understand that. Make it make sense. Inball says regular Raiden is nice, clean look. It's classy looking. for sure. Vavelsky says, working from home, got to create the atmosphere. You don't want to see my office. Like, I've got boxes everywhere. My atmosphere is not good. I need the bokeh to blur out the background because you guys don't want to see this. One of these days, I'll get an actual like background set up, and I'll have the space, to do everything good. Jay Korskinen says, Rolls, if you ever want to sell the silo, I'd be interested. You have the full dark wash, right? Yes. Mine, I'll be honest with you, I did not leave the edge stock. So yes, I have one. The edge is not stock. I went for a lower edge angle to make it slicier. Carlos says, Roll, please tell me how to post a pocket check pick. So to post a pocket check pick, you have to be on the Only Spartans Discord. To get into the Only Spartans Discord, you have to be a channel member. So once you're a channel member, if you go to YouTube, once you're a channel member, channel members can go to the post section, and if they scroll down far enough, they will find an invite link that members can see. Now, the other thing that I want to mention is channel members. If you are a channel member and you're part of the Discord, this is a good time to mention this. I have officially opened it up. Channel members who are already part of the Discord can invite their friends. So if you're part of the Only Spartans Discord and you have a buddy that you want to join in with you, you can send them an invite link from the Discord. So you either have to know someone that's in the Discord, or you have to be a channel member and click on the invite link in my YouTube community section. There you go. Go into the Only Spartanus Discord and go to the Pocket Check Live and post up a pic. There you go. Todd Carr, what's up, man? All right. So what else is new out there? I feel like we've exhausted DLT. Let's do NC Blade. Why not? Ooh, okay. They've got some Blade Show Atlanta releases. Crazy beads. I'm not generally like a lanyard bead guy, but some of these beads are really well done. Like, I wouldn't put this on a knife, but I do think that that's impressive. That level of detail on that level of detail. Beads, not my thing. What else do we got? Let's go with the pre-owned microtech knives, LUDT Gen 3 and DLC. Poikilo Gecko. Okay. CKF 5th 18. Polished DLC. $750. That's a lot. That's a lot. The Gecko Midtech 3. Zerkatai handles with Zerk accents. $980. What? What? That is wild. Hand satin finish, of course. $980. Wow. Some of those Poikilos are up there, man. The one that I really like is this one. I like the shape of the prism. It's a really aggressive, Warncliffe or Sachs style blade. I like that. It says Prism Small Mid-Tech. How small is it? It's not that small. The blade is 3.8 inches long. That's not that small. Look at that. Super cool. I might have to get my hands on one of those at some point, but $670 is a lot. I get it. It's a mid-tech, which means that a lot of that is made by hand. I get that. The armadillo is also really cool. It's kind of a harpoon Persian. That's aggressive. Oh, man. Like the head cheerleader's ex-boyfriend at a kegger. Aggressive. $420 for that one. Man, these Poikilos are not cheap. I can't keep my ears from popping. It's been a hell of a night. And then you see these right here. The Alchem standard. Like, these are crazy. $13.50. Like, I get it. There's a lot that goes into these knives. It's just, damn. All right. A lot of poi kilo. I get it. What about American Edge? American Edge. Oh yeah, did you guys see these? Exclusive Gen 3s with the gold, composite gold carbon fiber and DLC. They're not cheap. $430. It's basically like buying two at the same time, because I got mine, I want to say, for like $270, but it was no special one. But they've got these with the gold composite carbon fiber and the DLC coated blade. It's bananas. I saw these on Instagram, and I have to admit, I was tempted. I was very much tempted. They've got new Tanto. They've got the Heretic Wraith Auto, Wraith V4 Tanto. Look at that. With the Damtanium inlays. Yeah. You know how I feel about my Wraith V4. They on these, they changed up the pocket clip too. Now you get a milled clip, which I think is a huge upgrade. I've been bugging Mike over at Heretic too. Every time I talk to him, I'm like, so can you send me a pocket clip? I would love to have that. He's like, sure. Oh, man. But yeah, the cool thing is that the nicer, newer versions of the Wraith V4 have that milled clip. And you also get the option of getting it in Damtanium. And now they have the Tanto version, which I think the Tanto looks pretty sick. That looks pretty cool. $355 is not bad for that either. That is not bad. DLC coated blade, Magna Cut, Damtanium camo carbon inlays, milled clip. Yeah. I love it. The Wraith V4 is probably my favorite automatic knife. What else is new? What else? John Tagamori says Poi Kilo is their own OEM. Interesting. Transparent Knife says the Poi Kilos are nice, but priced too high in my opinion. I bought an Armadillo at Blade Show. Probably should be like $325 to $350, not $400. You know, I want to say that I can understand on the ones that they've labeled as mid-tech, but I don't feel like we know enough about the company to really know, like, for certain that they're actually doing a lot of that process by hand. Like, are they just taking advantage of a label and some good machine work, some good production work? Or are they actually, like, do they actually have a master bladesmith back there, you know, putting up that high quality level of work? I don't know. I feel like we need more information. Fred says that is a mid-tech so similar to your Mojave. That's what they say. I mean, like I said, we don't know. I would love to see a video. Maybe it's out there. Maybe I just don't know. But I would love to see a video of the Poi Kilo shop. Like, show me if you're going to sell me a knife that's labeled as mid-tech, I want, especially if it's overseas, I want to see what that process looks like. Like, who's the designer? Is it Alchem, or like, I don't know enough about it. I'll be honest. I will raise my hand and say that I am ignorant. I don't know enough about the Poi Kilo company to really say for sure, but as a member of the community that hasn't experienced one yet and just sees the price tag, I have to ask the question, like, can we see the shop? Can we see the process? You know, where's the documentation? I feel like when you are relatively new to the scene, like Poi Kilo, because I could be wrong, but I don't think they've been around for very long. I feel like that level of transparency and accountability is important. But you guys let me know. What do you think about that? Says they have multiple sizes of the prism. If the small one is 3.8 inches on the blade length, I don't want to see what the XL looks like. Drinkwater says, is Heretic manufacturer microtech, being Marfione's son? Heretic's their own company. Heretic is their own company. I mean, I don't know if you can truly grow up as the son of, you know, Tony Marfione and not take some heavy influence from that. You know, like they've released several designs that are close to microtech's designs, but they've also done a lot of things that are different. Like, for example, on the Wraith, I don't know if I could go look at a Wraith and say, yeah, that looks like this microtech knife. Like, they do plenty of stuff that is not like super similar to microtechs, and I don't see any microtechs with camo carbon inlays. I don't. So like Heretic is TJ or Tony Marfione Jr. and they do good work, man. They do good work, and I like them. I like the fact that they're branching out and doing cool exclusives like this. You know, I want to see more of this. I want to see more American companies embrace companies like Camo Carbon. Like that's an American carbon fiber company. Like, we want more of that, obviously. Like, we see TRM do it to great effect. Heretic is doing it to great effect. American Blade Works doing it to great effect. You know, does Spyderco do it? No. Benchmade? No. Microtech? No. I rest my case. Carlos says, do the Marfiones get along? I have no idea. I know at one point there was a lawsuit between Microtech and Heretic. I don't know the details, though. I don't know anything about it. I won't pretend to know the details of that family dynamic. But I do know at one point there was a lawsuit between Heretic and Microtech. Thanksgiving was probably awkward, huh? It's like, hey, son, can you pass the mashed potatoes and stop stealing my IP? Screw you, Dad. I'm going home. I can't help it. It was much funnier in my head, I promise you. Guys, I'm just getting tired. You know what? Maybe that's a good jumping off point. Guys, a lot of fun tonight on the live stream. Thank you guys so much for joining me every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time and every Saturday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Saturday. Yeah. Next live stream will be Saturday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 8 p.m. Mountain, which is 10 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 p.m. Central, which is 7 p.m. Pacific. If you want to hang out with me, become a channel member, join me on the Only Spartans Discord. For those of you there, I'll see you soon. For everyone else, have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you Saturday.